What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you may or may not know, I'm your host, the Humble Savage, and I want to present to you Season 2 of the Savage Amateur Racing League. Now, first, I want to thank everybody who came out last season and ripped it up out on the trails. Without you guys, this wouldn't even be possible. You guys know the goal of Humbly Savage is to raise the stoke here in New Jersey, and we're doing that by way of SARL, and that is why we have SARL. We want to put one-wheeling on the platform as an official sport. So that's why we're doing it here in New Jersey. If you want to be added to SARL, just reach out to us, humblysavage.nj@gmail.com, or just DM me directly either on Facebook or Instagram, any social media that I'm on, and we can link up, get it mapped out, and get everything all set up. It may not be this season as this one's getting going, but next year when we start Season 3, we definitely be happy to have some new routes. That's all we're going to be doing over the winter time, is trying to do recon and find new trails. So get in while the getting in is good. What's crazy is from last season to this season, we're going to have, we had 10 segments last season. Now we're stepping it up a little bit, and we're going to have 14 segments for this season. Now, the way this season is going to be constructed is there's going to be, just like last season, there were quarters. They were 2 weeks long. But this season, there's going to be 3 quarters. So 3 quarters are 2 weeks long, starting on November 4th. So the first quarter will be November 4th to November 17th. Then November 18th to October 1st. Then October 2nd to October 15th. Once we get through those 3 quarters, we're going to do a tally on points, and there's going to be a finals. We are going to do a finals race where it will be set up 2v2, and there will be a bracket. And what's going to happen is that finals race is going to be on October 29th. We're going to plan for it to be in the morning. I'm not going to tell you where it's at yet, but it will be in the morning in hopes that we can get out there. I'll let you know before that, so that way you guys can get pre-runs in and get some practice laps in. You'll know before the final of the 3 quarters. But essentially, get some practice runs in, for the couple weeks beforehand, knowing where it's at. And then we're going to meet up in the morning. And I'd like to do it in the morning. That way we can get in and get out. Hopefully maybe go somewhere afterwards and either like grill and chill or, ride around. Just because where it's at, I didn't really see much grilling things anyway. But I'm not even going to get into all that. But yeah, there will be a bracket. And I believe I'm going to do the top 6 riders move on to the finals. So get out there, get your race on, compete. Now that you guys know how it's structured, I'm trying to set things up a little better now, so that way I can inform you a little earlier on how things are going to be constructed. What I'm excited about is that we are now officially, I can officially announce this. It was some miscommunication maybe or whatever happened, but it's all resolved. We are officially sponsored by One Stop Board Shop. So they will be assisting us when it comes to the prizes at the end and possible giveaways and whatnot. They may not be there just because of the number of people, but we have their full support. Let's not get that twisted. Like I said, miscommunications happen, but after a nice hour phone call, you iron some things out, and then you move on in life. Ain't no reason to harp on nothing. You know what I mean? But let's get into the locations for the segments for Season 2. And Season 2 is called The Sprint. It's essentially going to be a handful of shorter segments. Season 1 had some lengthier ones to it. That was almost like training, like get us out there, whip us into shape real quick, since this is the first this is ever being done in New Jersey. We are the first race league. And like I said, you guys are creating this. Again, hit me up, let me know, and we can get it mapped. But first location we're going to start off, we're back at Mercer County Park. I've got some new spots in there for you guys to hit. First one I'm going to call Up the Hole Shot. And the second one is called Down the Backstretch. Now, these are the same spot, just one is one direction, and then the other is recording the other direction. In the video, you'll see where you can ride over to and kind of reset and restart your Strava. I did that because this one slightly uphill going one way, slightly downhill going the other way. and it is a different ride each direction, and it has its own fun in each direction. So I thought that one would be a cool one. And then the third one there is Cannonball Run. That's going to be a fun one. I have a feeling people are going to really like that. And we move on over to Thompson Park. Thompson Park, we have one called the Switchback. We have another one, the Log Flume. This one has some logs in it, and this one kind of ends abruptly in the middle of the woods because there are some spots there where you would need to go over water, and depending on how the season is, I don't want anybody to have to worry about going over water. And then lastly, if you've ever been to Thompson Park, the Hill Bomb. That is a fun thing to ride down, and I'm excited to see. Hey, if you hit the Hill Bomb and you take some dope videos, you're there out, with a group and you do it, shoot them my way so we can get them put up on the page. And we're swinging on back to Veterans Park. Veterans Park, we got a run called Veterans Run. Flashback, which utilizes a portion of the speed trap that was there and then kicks back around. And then the single track send off. And that goes into an area which takes you pretty much back around by the lake. And here I have these all set up, unlike last time where you had to cross some concrete and you deal with people a lot. All of these stay off the concrete now, so you won't have to worry about crossing human traffic. And they actually kind of loop, at least you'll see two of them loop you back around to be able to do those same two again easily. The one start is a little bit over since that's in part of the speed trap. Then we got John Phillips Park. I like it out there. It's my first time out there, and we knocked out some segments and got them recorded down. I didn't really name these just because they're the most recent ones I hit, so they're just going to be segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3. Essentially, segment 1 is the orange trail out there, and you're going around counterclockwise. And what I did is I broke up that orange trail to where when you take segment 1, there's a spot where you're going to have to get off your board. So it ends right before there. Segment 2 picks up shortly right after you pick up your board, go over a little bit, and then it starts again. And then from segment 2, you shouldn't have to pick up your board anymore after that. And that runs you pretty much the rest of the way around the orange segment. And then the third segment is pretty much you coming out. It's pretty much once you get to what I call the nipple, which crosses over to the orange trail. Once you start coming back out, then you pretty much take from there all the way back to home tree. And next on the list, we have right back at Manino. And we've got one we just titled the Manino Rip. It's just a rip right up the gut of the park. It's a fun one. Manino gets surfy when it's sandy. I kind of enjoy it out there after going back. And then we have another one which is slightly up the street from Manino, which is called Deep Run, just because the creek that runs by it is called Deep Run. So figure why not adopt that name. And those are all the segments that you have for the sprint. I will say all of these are set up pretty much to go fast. Not a lot of them have a lot of routes in them. So I'm asking you guys to please be careful, protect yourself, wear your gear. Try not to get injured as much as you can. Just take care of yourself. We all know our limits, and, just try not to push your limits too hard. I don't want to see you guys getting hurt, so that way we can have this again next year and have things booming even more. So yeah, once we run through all, like I said, the first 3 quarters, we run through them, top 6 riders go on to the finals. I can actually give you an insight on how the bracket ends up working out. First and second place get a pass, and you're already into the semifinals. So that's kind of how it'll be structured. But yeah, so I don't ramble on too much about this. This is season 2. Let's get it. Be safe. On to another fun and luxuriously awesome season. Let's get it, y'all. Peace.